Call to order this meeting of the Board of Education, August 21st, 2025, 7 p.m. in the Rocky Hill Town Hall Council Chambers. If everyone would please stand for the pledge. All right. Welcome back, everyone. I hope your summers are going very well and winding down nicely. I know I'm ready for the kids to go back to school. So moving along to agenda item number 2, audience participation. This is the part where the meeting is open to the public. Is there anyone here to address the board tonight? Mr. Addy? All right, seeing no one, we'll move along to agenda item number 3, approval of the minutes. On the agenda tonight, actually, it looks like that throws off the agenda item numbers. But number 3 is approval of the minutes. So on the agenda tonight is June 11th, 2025 Board of Education special meeting, June 12th, 2025 Board of Education special meeting, June 23rd, 2025 Board of Education special meeting, and July 23rd, 2025 Board of Education special meeting. Does anyone have any corrections, deletions, or additions for the minutes? With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes as listed.
Moved by Ms. Tucker. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Lafredo. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All right, that carries 7-0. Moving along to what should be agenda item number 4. Correspondence, Dr. Zito.
Yeah, we have one item tonight. Keela Parsons, who is a high school science teacher, has taken a position as a part-time teacher in West Hartford, which is a little better for her, in her opinion, in terms of life balance. So she has left the district, and we have posted for a full-time science teacher at Rocky Hill High School. I think Annabelle is coordinating interviews tomorrow with some of the high school administrators, department head. So, one item.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Any questions for Dr. Zito on that matter? All right. Moving along to, so I have a corrected agenda now, so that was agenda item number 4 on the corrected agenda. So we're going to move along to agenda item number 5, committee reports. Agenda item number 5 is curriculum committee.
We did not meet over the summer. We are looking to meet the end of September. There's a few items on the agenda that we want to discuss over the career pathways, a second round of textbooks ordering for world language, and more discussion on the expansion of potentially for community service hours to include job shadowing opportunities as the agenda so far. So a date will be coming out shortly.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Any questions for Ms. Tucker? Seeing none, we'll move along to agenda item number 6, facilities. Mr. Gavin.
The Facilities Committee has not met since the last meeting, but is going to give us an update on the facilities projects over the summer, and we'll determine from there when our next meeting will be scheduled.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Any questions for Mr. Gavin? All right, moving along to agenda item number 7, Committee for Finance. That is Ms. Tucker.
We have not met over the summer.
Thank you, Ms. Tucker. Moving along to, well, no questions on that, right? Moving along to agenda item number 8, personnel and negotiations. Mr. Gavin.
We have not met.
All
I
right,
don't believe we have a reason to for a while.
correct. Thank you, Mr. Gavin. Number 9 is policy. Mr. Shabra.
We have not met over the summer.
We did have a few meetings prior to our final meeting, so we got our work in before the
We had them all
break.
done, right,
Correct.
before
All
the
right.
school ended.
Correct. Moving along to special education. Ms. Tucker?
We have not met since break, but we're looking to have a meeting potentially in October to get an update, which will also include updates over the Dream Cafe.
Excellent. Any questions for Ms. Tucker? All right, moving along to number 11, school safety. Mr. Clemens.
We have not met, but need to schedule one late September or early October, I think would be a good idea.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Clemens.
Oh, actually, one more thing.
Sure.
Dr. Zito, have you heard from the police as far as hiring a new, or appointing a new resource officer?
Yep, we have a new SRO. I will, actually, don't have his name with me. I did meet him very briefly. I will get his information.
Thank you, Mr. Clemens, and thank you, Dr. Zito. Moving along to technology, number 12, Mr. Gavin.
Technology Committee has not met. We're going to give Mr. Guay some time to get the year started and see how things are going before we schedule our next meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Gavin. And number 13 is correct counsel, Mr. Shabra.
Nothing over the summer. I will reach out to them, find out the next meeting. I believe it's coming up after the school starts next week.
After they start, that makes
Yep.
sense. All right, thank you, Mr. Shabra.
If I may.
Yes.
I do have the name for Mr. Clemens. It's Officer Brian Carroll. Met with him right at the end of the school year. Nice guy, significant law enforcement experience. I think he'll be a good addition to the SRO.
Phenomenal, thank you.
Excellent.
Carroll.
Thank you, Dr. Zito.
Yep.
Old business, number 14, no old business tonight, so we'll move along to agenda item number 15, and new business, update on summer facilities projects. Mr. Lamontagne.
Good evening, everybody. So I know you've been waiting all summer for this. I put together a highlight of what's been going on in our buildings, so we'll get right to it, and then I'll open it up to any questions you might have on what we've been doing. So this summer, obviously, we've had one large capital improvement that we were working on. We've created some new spaces, and we're preparing the schools, obviously, for the new school year. And actually, this would help me if this was on. But we'll do it this way. So for capital improvements, we did the Stevens HVAC. I was working with, on the other two projects that are in the can right now for upcoming projects. So this summer, Stevens Gym was very busy. So this is our contractors removing the old 1976 units from the building. Here's some of the progress. We had to trench for new electrical in that building to supply power for the new equipment. The new condenser's in place, and then in the right-hand side, you can see the fence that's covering those 4 condenser units and the piping that's actually going up, leading into the building to operate the interior. And then in with the new stuff. So we got everything in place. New ductwork. The original equipment only just blew out the end of the air handler. The new equipment is ducted across for better ventilation and air distribution. We are scheduled for the official factory startup on Monday. So we are right on target for getting this ready for the start of school. A couple of other things I've been working on over at West Hill, completing the documents and the design for the grant application for state plan review. As Mr. Gavin indicated, we'll be having some facilities committee meetings to start discussion of moving forward with the town resolutions and what you folks need to do to get our money reimbursed for next year. So we can go out to bid probably late February and have a contractor in place ready to go as soon as the school buses leave at West Hill on the last day of school next year, or this year, actually, sorry. And then I've been working with Castle Booz Associates to finalize the conceptual design for the media center and tech ed spaces. It's ready for you all to review, have a look at it, and see if we want to make any changes before we actually do a complete design for construction. Over the summer, we had an opportunity to create some new spaces in our buildings. With a lot of the room moves and whatnot, and some other needs that came up, we started to utilize some of our spaces the best way that we can. So, as you know, the Bright Beginnings classrooms moved over to West Hill this year. So we have 3 there now. We have 2 new spaces there for Bright Beginnings at West Hill. As part of that move, part of the moving, we consolidated KIPP. So the Learning Center at Stevens actually relocated to the old KIPP classroom, It was better suited for them, so we moved them over. We were able to give our physical therapy space a larger space this year. They were in a very small room, so this is actually much more spread out, full classroom size. So we had an opening there. They're actually in the old learning center. As part of the Bright Beginnings move, we utilized the old Bright Beginnings room in the main office. We gave Stevens a larger conference room. The existing conference room is actually very tight, as Ms. Duran can let us know, would let you know. And we gave the teachers a workroom for pretty much the first time in many, many years. All their equipment has been spread out throughout the building in closets and whatnot. So we know this might be short-lived depending on what happens with enrollment and having to take those classrooms back over for students, but it was better than leaving them empty. So it's also, the teacher workroom is also going to be a carryover space for lunches and whatnot for the teachers. Right now, there's 2 tables in the teacher's lounge at Stevens, so we were able to give them some more space to eat lunch. So we had a need to create a satellite nurse's office at Stevens. It's actually really close to, it's right across the hall from the Learning Center. We have some medically fragile students, one who actually has a one-to-one nurse. So now his medical needs can be met right across the hall from where he is during the day. The room that he's in, that this is in, actually has been many different things. A one-to-one room, it's been a seclusion room, it's been the custodial office probably 20 years ago. So we were able to, and all this work was done in-house. We added a sink, which was never there. That was done by our in-house plumber. All the flooring was installed by our guys. I actually utilized some attic stock from this GMS science classroom. So this really was a no-cost project for us to do for you. The new career center. So it is a work in progress. It's close. Furniture was actually delivered today. It's being installed Monday. The technology is just about there. We have to make a couple changes on some of the TV locations for the monitors, but we will have it set up and ready to go before the students arrive next week. Mr. Foti asked us to reconfigure the Library Media Center so it would flow better, be a little more inviting for the students to actually utilize it. And the tech, actually, let me go back one. So in the upper left is the old tech center, which is now the new career center. We had to relocate them somewhere. That's where a lot of the students would go, and if they had Chromebook problems, they would go right into that room, Chromebook exchanges and that sort of thing. So if you look in the upper right-hand corner of this picture, the tech center is actually part of the media center now. So it's actually going to push the kids into the media center a little bit more so they can utilize it. So I'm going to go over some of the highlights of what my guys do during the summer, guys and gals now, but yes, during the summer. So we did a lot of district-wide corridor and classroom painting. The portables at Stevens were caulked and repainted. So hopefully they're skunk tight and bug tight at this point in time. That was done in-house as well. Actually, all this work is done in-house. Here's just a screenshot of the camera. The guys were replacing some damaged cove base. So, you know, all of our staff doing this work. And, the typical window washing, regular high vac maintenance, carpet extraction. We actually have a very nice camera system where I can start pulling a lot of this stuff from. The guys don't really know it, but
I was going to say, do your guys know you're sharing this picture? Candid pictures.
they do. I actually contemplated putting like the smiley face emojis over these guys, their faces. But the high school parking lot light replacement. So back in April, we started losing lights. They started fading and then completely going out. We were about 50% out. So unfortunately, we had to spend a little bit of money, roughly $26,000. But the good part is we utilized grant reimbursement money from a security grant we had sitting there. So it didn't come out of our operating budget. So that's actually what those programs are for, so we can keep rotating through projects. And I thought security and lighting go hand in hand. So you can see the difference significantly. He should be finished up probably by next Tuesday. That's the teacher lot. He's working on the student lot now. So I'm sure we're going to maybe hear from a couple of neighbors that it's bright again over there, but, better to be safe than sorry. So here's some of the guys in progress, that's the high school cafeteria. This is what they do. And you can see the difference moving forward, and I couldn't resist this next slide. If you're a fan of the greatest movie of the 80s, so, Mr. Miyagi would be proud that we are ready to welcome our staff and students back to school for the 25-26 school year. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anything you have.
Thank you, Mr. Lamontagne. I'm always amazed at what you can do with, just with what we have and making it work, so thank you for that. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Lamontagne? Mr., oh my God.
Kosker, that's okay. It's been a long summer.
been a
Just
long
thinking
day.
about some of the reconfiguring, I mean, you mentioned that nurse's office that required some sort of, I say build out, but, sort of more permanent things, where most of the other things more furniture, dividers, I noticed a sink in that teacher's area, like, were there other things that were more permanent versus just, I just want to get a sense of what you had to do that was more permanent in nature versus.
District-wide?
Well, no, just some of those like renovation things,
Well,
like reconfiguring stuff. When you're reconfiguring, is it mostly literally just moving furniture? And
Sometimes it is. I mean, in the past, we've actually had to build, we have built-in cubbies for DTI spaces in our KIPP classrooms. Actually, the Learning Center now is using those DTIs. That's why we moved them over. So that's permanent. So, it depends on the project overall. But that satellite nurses room, we see that being permanent.
Sure, okay.
But anything is possible. I mean, that thing can come out tomorrow if you ask me to do it. So,
I was just getting a sense of,
Yeah.
like, as you said, like, when enrollment changes, and all of a sudden we need a classroom, we gotta take the teachers, move
yeah,
back
so
or
so
something.
part of it, like, with the teacher's workroom, we
Yeah.
had to run electrical. I mean, we put a copier in there, we put a laminator in there, the poster maker. So, things that weren't there before needed power. So those are permanent.
Yeah.
And obviously, the lighting is permanent, hopefully.
Right.
So,
Thank you, no, it looks great, I mean.
Thank you.
We guys got a lot done, so,
thanks.
thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Kosker. Any other questions for Mr. Lamontagne? No. All right.
All right,
Thank you, Ron. Moving along to agenda item number 16. First, welcome Dr. Diaz-Santiago, your first board meeting as the interim assistant superintendent for personnel and student services.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to give a few updates this evening, and we're going to start off with the Dream Cafe. So the summer goal for our students was to keep them highly engaged through many science experiments and kitchen activities. They learned about allergies and dietary restrictions, focus on non-edible crafts and experiments, so they really did have a treat. They also participated on cafe duties, bussing tables, using the Wally cart to clean and sanitize, high and low dusting with Swiffers, sweeping entryways and dining spaces, dishes and stocking the kitchen, watering the plants, and organizing inventory. So they also did a lot of crafts and activities like rock painting, shrinky dinks, and cookie decorating. Here you see Justin, Dylan, and Chloe enjoying their time. They did a gummy bear experiment, which is really neat. So we see Gavin, Chris, Daniel, Chloe, Giuliani, and Alex So they were able to experiment with the gummy bears using room temperature water, salt water, and sugar water, and they were able to see whether the gummies expanded or they shrank. So that was something neat that they were able to observe. They also worked on lemon volcanoes. And there was some vocabulary development with a lot of these experiments. For example, learning about reaction and learning about fizz bubbles. So that was something that they really enjoyed to spark their curiosity. Another experiment, Skittles rainbow plates and peppermint swirls. They were able just to see how the colors expanded and either created a rainbow or the swirls with the peppermint to create that swirly pattern. The bouncy egg, this was something that I didn't even know, to be honest. Like, I didn't know you can put an egg for 48 hours in vinegar and it dissolves the shell. So, and it creates a rubbery membrane, which is really neat. So that was something that the students really did enjoy doing and observing. The dirt cups and beach cups, they enjoyed these wonderful treats, making edible science memorable. And this is one of the most exciting pieces for us from the Dream Cafe. The website is going to be launched this school year, and we can have a sneak peek into the Dream Cafe website. Erin did a really, really nice job putting together the website for us.
Looks great.
So you can order catering, there's photos, event outreach, calendar, and we can contact Erin. So this is big for us, and it's exciting for our district. We're gonna go and transition to the special ed programming over the summer. So ESY at West Hill, grades pre-K to 6. So here we have our preschoolers. I had the opportunity to visit all of these programs over the summer, and I really did enjoy the little guys, especially the preschool classrooms. They were so cute. First and foremost, I want to thank the administrators, the teachers, the paras. They really put together a really nice program for our kids. This is our learning center with Miss Vigarano, and as you can see, this is Lucas. I had the opportunity to meet Lucas, really nice young and sweet boy, enjoying his arts and crafts here, and the kids enjoy movement breaks. The Connections program, this was run by Miss Lyonnaise, and they enjoy theme base each week. Here they're making an ice cream craft after a week of ice cream themed and learning and exploring. So lots of explorations during these summer programs. Here we have the Dream Academy along with grades 7 and 8, and they did a lot of collaboration with the science experiments. So it was nice to bring both cohort groups together to learn during the summer. And here they're working on their vocational skills. And we have Kaden and Daniel going out, to the store and enjoying at the end their little leisure time at the end of each day. They close out with the social group. So now I want to transition from the programs to the staffing updates. So we hired 21 new staff hires. So we've been really busy over the summer. And we currently have 9 vacancies, as Dr. Zito mentioned. We are hosting, or we have scheduled, interviews for tomorrow. We have 5 candidates that we are bringing in to interview. so it looks really promising. And last but not least, mandated training. All of the mandated training for the district and also for the state was all sent out on August 18th. And I will be sending out information on our new frontline absent management system to all staff. And we have this one centralized system for staff members to input their absences where we can manage them. And that is it for the updates, and I welcome any questions, and I will try my best to answer them.
Thank you, Dr. Diaz-Santiago. And again, thank you for stepping up to fill the interim position. Does anyone have any questions for Dr. Diaz-Santiago? Mr. Kosker?
Just one brief question, just on the vacancies, you had 3 paras and 5 tutors. Just where are those spread around the district? Where are those positions, just to get a sense?
They are spread around. I can get you that information,
No, I don't
but I
need
don't.
exactly, but they're
Yeah.
spread all over the schools, and
Yeah.
I just, because that's good, 5 tutors is a bunch, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
I would imagine until those get filled, that's, kids not getting that service, so it's a little, tough, but yeah. Are there people applying for those jobs? Like, how does that look? What's the prospects look like to fill those positions, the tutors and the paras?
The prospects look good. We will fill those positions. It's just a matter of going through the process, but
Okay. I mean, obviously, you've been busy. I see even a lot going on this summer.
Yeah,
But yeah,
there
just
is,
curious as
yeah.
far as if there's people applying and because it's late, obviously, in the cycle most people are in their positions already,
Correct. But in comparison to other districts, we are in very good shape. All of our students
Yeah.
have certified teachers in
Oh,
front
we
of
see the
them.
numbers in the news. Yeah,
and
we're in really good
it's-
shape.
It's
We're in really good
really
shape.
exciting, yeah.
Yeah.
Those other positions that are non-teaching, there's a high level of turnover. and
Anyway, right.
Annually.
Especially tutors.
Throughout
Oh,
the
may
year,
I-
tutoring,
Yeah.
paraprofessionals, it's a
Lot of
constant
turnover.
rotation.
Yeah, yeah.
May I jump in on this as well? One of the delays in hiring for those tutor positions is that many of those positions are paid out of grants. And so we had to wait for those funds to be
before you could
released
even post
before
them.
we could post.
Yeah, okay.
So had that not happened, we would have posted sooner.
Gotcha.
So that did cause
Yeah,
somewhat
yeah.
of a delay.
That makes
But we
sense.
do have applicants and
Coming in.
interviews have taken place. So a lot of it is just the final stages of the hiring process. So we
Cool.
should be in pretty good shape.
No, that's great, because I just known over the years, we've had really good success having our positions filled, those, especially, even those pairs and stuff, we've really been in good shape, so.
Yeah.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Kosker. Any other questions? Seeing none, thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Diaz-Santiago. Number 17 on the agenda, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, Dr. Nozick.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thank you. Attached or included in your board packet was the financial report reflecting the year-to-date figures for the month ending in July. There is limited expense activity in the report due to the fiscal year just beginning and the start of the new school year coming up on the 28th of the month. I do want to point out a couple of things. If included in your in the object summary for the financial report, lines 3 and 4 appear to be in the negative. So just wanted to explain that. That's a product of our year-end rollover. And so some people who were in those positions as paras or substitute teachers, when we did the rollover, their names, they continue to get rolled over and they show up in the encumbrances. So once we clean up the position run, which we did 3 days after you got your report, so you'll see that in the next month, those are not in the negative. Those are just people that just hadn't come off the rolls yet, and so that's why they ended up as encumbered. I did go back and check to see if this was an annual occurrence, and it does appear to be. Last year for the report in 2024, we had a salary for a substitute non-certified that was also appeared to be in the negative, again, due to the rollover.
Thank you, Dr. Nozick. And also, I just, welcome to this is your first full board meeting with us, yes, so welcome, Dr. Nozick as well. Any questions for Dr. Nozick? All right, moving along to Agenda item number 18, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instructions, Ms. Duran.
All right, good evening, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed your summer. It's great to be back, and I'm very excited for the start of the 25-26 school year. It was a very busy summer at central office. We had a total of 584 hours of curriculum writing completed by 58 teachers across the district. Some of them are in the room this evening. And I would like to thank all of those individuals who took time out of their summer to complete that important work. Tomorrow, we have our new teacher orientation, and we are welcoming a very small incoming cohort of teachers. We only have 5 new hires, and 2 of them were here for part of last year. So we have a great day lined up for them tomorrow. And part of that will include our tour that we started last year and lunch at the Dream Cafe. This past year, the board adopted new goals, and that is going to drive much of the professional learning that staff will engage in throughout the 25-26 school year. Over this summer, our leadership team met for 5 full days to develop our own relationships. We have quite a few new building administrators in the district, and so it's been great for everybody to get to know each other and engage in professional learning and strategically plan for the school year using your goals that you developed to drive their work. The main focus will be to continue to provide high-quality instruction across all grades and content areas, and to prepare our students for our ever-changing world. So one focus across the district will be to support learning that is differentiated and scaffolded to meet the growing needs of our students. I put this slide in here because we've talked about it at several board meetings throughout the year last year. We continue to outperform the state average in ELA and math on our standardized assessments. However, when we look at our multilingual and special ed population, which we know is growing, there continues to be ongoing opportunities for growth. So that will be one of our focuses for this school year. The work that the administrative team participated in this summer has prepared us to implement the components of the Safe School Climate legislation. Through this work, we will address student needs, including the differentiated instruction to support both academic and social emotional growth. We did have a full day with an ACES trainer, and we had our administrative staff trained in restorative practices. It was a really wonderful day. Everyone walked away feeling really positive and confident about the work that we engaged in throughout that day. The presenter was excellent. So next week we have a presentation for our staff on the new legislation, and they're going to be working with their building principals to introduce the components. And here are acronyms that I've been kind of talking to you guys about, and you're becoming very familiar with: PBIS, restorative practices, MTSS, as well as other systems and protocols to ensure compliance with the components of the new legislation. This year, the Curriculum Office will continue to support the transition of hardware across the district to docking stations and laptops, while also introducing several new technology platforms for instruction, workflow, and parent communication. Teachers will be learning about those programs next week when they engage in their beginning of the year professional development days, and we will be continuing the work we started last year with the state AI grant. We're expanding training and usage to staff at the middle school and high school for the start of the school year. We'll be implementing the usage in phases, continuing to meet the plan with the AI committee, and engage in a full-day technology PD later in November of this school year. So as a board, you have supported, and Mr. Lamontagne spoke about this, the creation of a career center, which is coming together. I'm really excited for you to see the finished product. But it will emphasize the development of students as citizens, communicators, leaders, thinkers, and lifelong learners. It will be a hub for resources and support, helping our students to explore those career pathways and develop essential workforce skills. We're really fortunate to have Jordan Shigell, who's going to be leading this initiative. He brings passion and expertise to this initiative. He worked with Mr. Foti, Mr. Lamontagne, and myself over the summer to not only get the physical space, but the curriculum ready for its opening. And we are planning an open house this fall. We don't have it all set up yet in the date, but I will make sure to get that date to our board, and we hope that many of you can attend that. So as I stated at the beginning of the report, it's been a really busy summer, and I speak for the leadership team when I say that we feel excited and ready to open the school next week. So I entertain any questions that you may have, and I thank you for your support.
Thank you, Mr. Rand. Any questions? Mr. Clemens?
Yeah, just maybe be naive. What is sheltered English?
Okay, so sheltered English is another term for a teacher of the our EL students or our multilingual students.
Okay,
Yep,
So
thank you.
you're welcome.
Language other than English is the primary languages at home.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Clemens.
All set?
Any other questions for Mr. Rand? On behalf of the board, I want to say thank you. This sounds like a tremendous amount of work that you guys did. Thank you to you, thank you to the staff, the leadership team, all the teachers. That's a lot of work, so thank you.
Thank you. It was actually very invigorating. So I think we really walked away from the summer feeling like, wow, we just completed a lot of work, but we feel really proud about the work that we completed and ready to get the year going. So thank you.
We love hearing that as a board. Thank you. All right, moving along to agenda item number 19, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Zito.
So a lot of good information's been presented already. Tomorrow, as Wendy said, is the new teacher orientation. So you kind of, in my mind, on the calendar, that kind of kicks off the official start of the school year is when the new teachers report. Wendy touched on a little, she went over a lot of things. A lot of curriculum writing occurred this summer as well. And see some representatives here from the Teachers Union. The two Michelles are here tonight. Thanks for coming out. So very good vibe throughout the summer. A lot of teachers were in, as recently as this week, working very hard on curriculum. So we really appreciate the teachers that don't have to come in but willingly come in and really want to get a jump on a year. As you can see, the central office stayed very busy this summer. Ron, thank you for all you do. The facilities look great. Throughout, the hiring process, the enrollment registration process, payroll, the rollover for all the training, everybody's worked really hard. It's been a busy summer, but people are focused on the tasks at hand. Been very pleased with Wendy, Annabelle, and Scott moving into their roles. Wendy, year 2, obviously. But everybody's got a good focus this year. The retreat, as you said, was excellent. Good vibe. 2 days with the whole administrative team. Very good vibe in the air, and people really excited to go forward. On Monday, when we kick off convocation with the teachers, we'll spend a few minutes with them. They'll have some time to meet as the union, the RHTA officers can meet with their group. And then we've got about an hour and a half set aside for a legislative update from one of the attorneys, Julie Resnick with Shipman. So a lot happened at the state legislature this past spring. So we want to make sure that the staff is fully informed, and our attorney from Shipman will be here to give everybody kind of a comprehensive overview on the legislative changes. So summer is kind of, in my mind, officially over, and we're ready to roll. The kids probably don't want to hear that, but they'll be here on Thursday. And I think we're positioned to have a very productive and enjoyable 25-26 school year.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. Any questions for Dr. Zito?
Just one thing, and I don't know if it's premature, but I know the summer's always this flux with enrollment.
Yeah.
Do you have any sense of enrollment where we're up,
Yeah,
down,
I check it
indifferent?
on it, I check it frequently. I always give an update in September.
Okay, that's good.
But we are, we're tight. We're tight in some areas at the elementary level. I don't, nothing excessive, nothing, we're ready to go. As you know, it was a difficult spring with some of the reductions to the board's request, but we'll be tight in some spaces. Kindergarten at Stevens is close to 100, right around that number. But I'll give you a full report. It's still kind of in flux right now.
That's what I thought. I wasn't sure it was a
Yeah,
premature question,
it's,
but.
and it will continue to be a little bit in flux until we get the school year started. Typically, I'll come to the September board meeting and give you an update on where we are, and then you'll get a full October 1 report, as you do every year at the October board meeting. That's where I'll go through slides, enrollment, class by class, level by level.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Cusker. Any other questions for Dr. Zito? All right. Thank you, Dr. Zito. Moving along to agenda item number 20, which is my report. I hope everyone's summer is winding down pleasantly. I was able to catch about 20 minutes of the first Rocky Hill High School soccer scrimmage on the way here in between the office and the meeting, and I know I'm excited for everything to get started back up. So I hope you all are excited as well. A couple things to touch on. I know at the end of last year, we had talked about having collaborative meetings with the union reps, the central office, and the executive committee of the board. I'm happy to report that we have gotten the first one scheduled for the first week of September. We're looking forward to that as a board and as a district to continue to have the open and honest communication and transparency that we have always had. In this way, I think that'll go a long way to making sure everyone has a seat at the table and everything's in the open. So, looking forward to that. I believe it's September 4th, if I remember correctly, and I look forward to it. If anyone's been paying attention to the town council meetings, obviously the subject of shared services has come up, and so a couple comments on the shared services. First off, I think it's important to address as a preliminary matter that for as long as I've been on the board and based on discussions with prior board members, probably for a long time before that, the Board of Education and the Town Council have always worked together in collaboration with an eye towards what's best for the residents of Rocky Hill. So when you're hearing about shared services, please do not confuse collaboration with shared services. Long before the idea of shared services came up, the Board of Education as a deliberative body, and the Town Council as a deliberative body have worked together for the betterment of Rocky Hill, and we will continue to do so. The idea of shared services is different from collaboration in general, and that is a concept of potentially sharing resources between the two deliberative bodies in fulfilling their separate responsibilities. So just as a preliminary matter, I just want to make sure everyone kind of understands that. The concept of shared services is certainly something that piques interest and is worth further discussing as a board. The reality is that it's one pool of money that's collected by the town, and that reality is not lost on me or on any of the board members. When I hear shared services and finding efficiencies, my ears perk up twofold. First, as a taxpayer, my ears perk up because saving money as a board and as a town presumably has an impact on the taxes we pay every year and ultimately should save us all money as taxpayers. Secondly, my ears perk up as a parent of children in the district and as a board member. Yes, for that same reason, saving money. We're all stewards of the residents of Rocky Hill's money in the decisions we're making here. But also as to the potential effect of shared services that may have on the Board of Education in its duty in handling the administration of education in Rocky Hill. So under Connecticut law, the duty and responsibility of education is delegated within our district to the Board of Education as an entity independent of the Town Council. Our school district is currently incredibly efficient with its spending while at the same time achieving pretty fantastic academic results. The data shows that our district is ranked 17th out of 24 towns in our district reference group in spending per pupil, meaning we spend less per pupil than roughly 70% of the towns in our district reference group. Additionally, we're ranked 119th out of the state's 166 school districts in spending, meaning we spend less per pupil than roughly 72% of the district statewide. All of this while consistently ranking at the top of the district reference group in academic achievement on all measured domains. It's unclear at this time what, if any, services would be in consideration for the shared services model, but it is absolutely paramount that we exercise our due diligence in evaluating this proposed idea through the lens of a Board of Education with an acknowledgement and respect for the independent body that we are and the unique purpose we serve in this role, education. As I said, the concept of shared services with the town council is certainly something to consider. Our position on the board dictates that we exercise due diligence in evaluating this idea as a board. With that in mind, I reached out to Mayor Murata earlier this week to get the contact information for, I believe it is Mr. Ziplo, who presented Monday. Mr. Kosker, you were there. Mr. Clemens, you were there. Presented to the council with regard to shared services with the indication that I'd like to invite them to a meeting with the full board to do a question and answer session based on his presentation that he presented to the town council, or potentially present to us as well, but it is available on YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. We could also just have all board members watch the video and then just have a question and answer with him. Additionally, I think it makes sense to schedule a meeting as a board to deliberate after the question and answer session so that we can deliberate with everyone present and have an open conversation about the idea. There may be some areas where shared services with the town can effectively, even in light of our unique role, even in light of our unique role as a Board of Education, where we can share some resources without it affecting our deliberative process on education. With that in mind, we look forward as a board to looking into shared services where it makes sense. But rest assured, irrespective of where the shared services discussion ends, we will continue to collaborate with the town council for the betterment of Rocky Hill, just as we have in the past. So I just want people to be clear as far as general collaboration and shared services are two different things. Irrespective of where we end up on the shared services discussion, as far as sharing resources, we will continue to collaborate as we always have with the town for the betterment of Rocky Hill. Also, I think it would be prudent to schedule a meeting and I intend to schedule a meeting to discuss the HR vacancy that was created at the end of last year. Not to discuss any kind of permanent replacement at this time, but I think we need to have a discussion as a board as to overall how we want to structure that vacancy or how we want to deal with it. So keep your eye open for that. Other than that, everyone enjoy the remainder of your summers, and I look forward to another successful and exciting school year. Does anyone have any questions for me? All right. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Moved by Ms. Tucker. Do I have a second? Seconded by Mr. Shaver. All those in favor? All those opposed? All right, we are adjourned 7-0 at 7:50.